welcome back to Newsline. Still to come, the latest in sport and weather. And we'll show you how the Adopt a Greyhound program works. First though, here's Will Brown with his review of the Russian movie Leviathan.
Winner of the Best Screenplay at Cannes 2014, Leviathan is a Russian film of immense power and beauty. Directed by Andrei Zhuganivtsev, it revolves around a likeable but hot-tempered man named Kolya, played brilliantly by Alexei Serebryakov. Kolya finds himself on the wrong side of a corrupt mayor, and his life subsequently unravels around him.
Полистайте.
Ну, а если я не буду читать вот это, тогда что?
Я-то думал, что в этом городе для тебя ничего невозможного нет. Я хочу, чтобы Николай остался при своем.
Не отстрелялись, у меня мишени поинтереснее.
А из нынешних кого нет?
Мало исторического зазора.
The setting is a decaying fishing village in Russia's rugged north coast. It serves as the perfect backdrop for this brutal tale of morality and suffering, experienced through the eyes of an average. The script, performances and cinematography are all sublime. The music score from acclaimed composer Philip Glass is just as good. Quite simply, Leviathan is a modern masterpiece. 4.5 stars.
Thanks, Will. It looks great. Well, if you saw ABC TV's Four Corners program on the greyhound racing industry, you'd realise just how cruel it can be. Unfortunately, some viewers took away the message that greyhounds are naturally aggressive, and that's why some trainers use live animals as bait to train greyhounds. Nothing could be further from the truth. As Daniel Braid reports, greyhounds that are allowed to retire from racing are making the most wonderful household pets.
Lure rolls, and they're racing, jumping out well too, is Zipping Maggie on the inside, followed by Reap the Benefit.
Reaching a top speed of more than 60 kilometres an hour, it's clear greyhounds are bred for the track. But once the races are over, the future of the dogs can often be thrown into question. Here on the outskirts of Seymour, 1 hour north of Melbourne, lies the Greyhound Adoption Program. It is here where greyhounds are transitioned from life on the racetrack to life in a family home.
Having the adoption program is an essential part of the racing industry. It's really important to us that we look after the dogs when they finish racing or if they're not suitable for racing. So we're an absolutely essential part of greyhound racing Victoria and the greyhound racing industry.
Larissa Dara from the Greyhound Adoption Program said the public perception about the greyhounds was unwarranted.
As soon as people have hung out with a greyhound, they realise what a gentle and placid and easygoing breed they are. The dogs sell themselves. They're really their own best advertisement. They're such a placid, lazy and quiet dog. They make a wonderful pet.
But the stigma surrounding greyhounds is hard to shake.
The biggest misconception that people have is that greyhounds are, potentially aggressive, high-energy dogs, difficult to handle, and nothing could be further from the truth.
For Rebecca Good, caring for the animals is a big part of her life.
The most rewarding thing about this job for me is just the opportunity to work every day with the most amazing animals ever. They are just wonderful patients. We get a lot of pleasure out of being the next step before they head to their hopefully forever homes.
It seems for now the program is filling a much needed gap in the racing community. Daniel Braid, Newsline.
Thanks, Daniel. Now to sport with Sarah Ollie. And Sarah, it looks like an Australian could be coaching England's cricket team.
That's right, Sarah. Former Australian fast bowler Jason Gillespie and batsman Justin Langer are firming as the favourites to take the position as England's coach after Peter Moores was sacked 4 days ago. It has been a bad 12 months for England, who are desperately seeking redemption in the upcoming Ashes series against Australia in July. And now, the end of a highly decorated career. Port Adelaide's Kane Cornes has announced he will retire from the game after his 300th match against Richmond at the end of this month. The 2004 Premiership player said the reason for his mid-season retirement was to take up a position as a fireman. And finally, to cycling, and the latest results from the Giro d'Italia, where Alberto Contador has taken the leader's pink jersey after the 5th stage.
And the first attack from Alberto Contador of this 2015 Giro d'Italia. We did not see that coming.
We certainly didn't.
Contador is seeking to become only the 8th rider in history to win the Giro and Tour de France double. So far, he seems on track. And that's sport.
Thanks, Sarah. And now to the weather. Expect the wet conditions to continue until tomorrow. In Melbourne, you can anticipate a top of 15 with showers in the morning. And in Geelong, it's much the same, the chance of morning showers and a top of 16. But the sun is set to return for the weekend, with a top of 17 in Melbourne and Geelong on Saturday. So it's blue skies for those wanting to make the most of their weekend.
And that's all we have time for. I hope you can join us again for Newsline tomorrow. Good night.